thing she hopes to accomplish. The morning show at 8 starts right after the break.
Hello, I'm Chad Froick. It doesn't matter what the weather conditions are here in Florida. Pests are always looking for a way to get into your home or business. At Florida Pest Control, we offer customer-friendly pest maintenance programs to help keep your home and business pest-free. Our technicians undergo continual training on the latest treatment methods. Contact Florida Pest Control for your free, no-obligation inspection. And remember, the only bugs we can't control are litter bugs.
The Weather Authority, tracking Fred. Live from the local station, the morning show starts now.
After a month without a named storm, there are now 2 systems taking shape. Good morning and thank you so much for joining us. Right now, the Weather Authority is monitoring 2 systems. As Fred moves closer to Florida, we now have a new tropical storm.
Meteorologist Danielle Juliano is here with an update from the National Hurricane Center on where Fred is headed. Good morning, Danielle. What's the latest?
Yeah, so we're still watching here, Fred, as it moves over portions of Cuba into the southern Gulf of Mexico. And as of 8 a.m. this morning, still a tropical depression. Max sustained wind speeds only at 35 miles per hour. Fred is actually going to have to make its way a little further into the Gulf of Mexico before it re-intensifies and strengthens back into a tropical storm. It's going to need to tap into those warmer waters after it made its way over the mountain regions of Cuba. So we'll be watching that here within the next 12 hours or so to see when Fred does once again reach that tropical storm strength. Current track, though, still keeps it in areas of Panama City. We're talking Pensacola, Mobile, Alabama, even into portions of Mississippi, leaving northeast Florida and really the whole Florida peninsula outside of the cone of uncertainty, which is some good news. We're also keeping tabs here on Tropical Storm Grace. Right now, getting a little bit better organized, which is some good news as well. Winds sustained at 40 miles per hour. Models are pretty consistent with Grace making its way over Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. Then it starts to get a little bit of uncertainty once it moves towards areas of Cuba. The model has it moving towards South Florida as you head into Wednesday into Thursday, bringing portions of heavy rainfall to Miami and the southern tip of Florida there. So big question with some of these models here as we take a look. Once it moves closer to Florida, does it take that northeasterly turn? Does it move towards South Florida and eventually into the Gulf, or does it say south of Florida? You can see where the models tend to split a little bit there as you head into Wednesday and Thursday of this upcoming week, and that's when we'll be watching Grace very closely going forward here. Pretty consistent that it's going to make its way over Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. It's past that we have that uncertainty factor moving into our forecast, and it's big for us because if it makes that northeasterly turn, we're going to feel some of those impacts from Grace as we head into next weekend. Here's a live look across northeast Florida as you head through this morning. You can see a few raindrops on the south pond of Idra Beach Cam. We do have some showers out there, and I'm going to be tracking those for you coming up here in just a few minutes.
Danielle, thank you. For the 8th straight week, Florida is reporting another increase in COVID-19 cases.
On average, more than 21,000 new cases per day were reported last week. Hospitals are slammed during the wave. Patients continue to come in, but the numbers are dwindling. Those entering the hospital with the most severe cases are unvaccinated. The CDC says those who have a weakened immune system can get a 3rd shot, which will help better protect them from the virus.
More vaccine sites are popping up in the area. Today, you can head to Wayman Ministries for a COVID-19 vaccine. First Timothy Baptist Church is hosting an event tomorrow. All 3 vaccines will be available as well as the flu shot.
A part of that letter reads, in fact, it appears that Florida has prioritized threatening to withhold state funds from school districts that are working to reopen schools safely rather than protecting students and educators and getting school districts the federal pandemic recovery funds to which they are entitled. The letter also says President Joe Biden is willing to work with school districts directly if Florida's Department of Education does not distribute federal aid. The state has not submitted its plan of how it plans to spend the roughly $7 billion from the American Rescue Plan. That was due on June 7th. Cardona also sent a different letter to Florida superintendents yesterday supporting their interest in requiring masks. Education Commissioner Richard Corcoran responded to those letters. Part of his response threatened to withhold funding for schools up to an amount equal to superintendent and school board members' salaries if they moved forward with requiring doctor's notes for students to get out of wearing a mask. Governor DeSantis has repeatedly said he does not support any kind of mask mandate.
Obviously, if you're talking about the federal government coming in and overruling parents in our communities, that would be something that we would fight back vociferously against.
Education officials say mask mandates violate the state's Department of Health rule that eventually helped the governor carry out his executive order against making masks mandatory in schools.
Taking a look at coronavirus in our schools, Duval County Public Schools reported nearly 100 cases within the first day of school this year. Since then, even more cases. According to district data, 47 people have contracted the virus on Friday. That is right here. 41 students, 6 staff members. For perspective, we're going to show you what it was like last August. Numbers like that. The first case was not reported until August 21st. That was among one staff member. But again, we didn't see cases that high until October of 2021. October 15th, 28 students and 5 staff members. In Ware County, moving north to Georgia, school officials say because of the sharp increase in COVID-19 cases among students and staff members, they are closing all schools. All school buildings will remain shut down through August 27th. Staff will return August 30th and will have a week of planning. Students then return September 7th. Of the nearly 5,900 students enrolled in the Ware County School District, 76 have tested positive. 679 students are in quarantine. 67 school employees have the virus and another 150 have been quarantined. Ware County has 950 staff members.
Starting St. Johns County's school year off on the right foot, Monday on the morning show, see inside one of the district's newest schools before students even walk the halls. Plus, we are deciphering the district's new dress code, rules that may leave some parents feeling confused. And don't miss our live weather and traffic updates so you know exactly what to expect when you walk out the door. We want to see how you and your student are preparing for the new school year. Post your pictures and videos on news4jax.com/snapjacks and you could see your child right here on Channel 4. Family, friends, and fans are saying goodbye to longtime Florida State football coach Bobby Bowden. He passed away after a battle with pancreatic cancer at the age of 91. Fans have been lining up on campus. There will be a celebration of life event today for him. News 4 Jax sports reporter Jamal St. Cyr is live in Tallahassee. And Jamal, fans have been taking this weekend to just reflect on the things Bowden did for the school.
That's right. On Friday, thousands of fans were able to go out and pay their final respects to Coach Bowden, both at the State Capitol building and over on Florida State's campus. At one of the events over at Doak Campbell Stadium, I was able to talk with one of Coach Bowden's former players, Todd Forden, and he told me that it wasn't Coach Bowden's accomplishments on the football field that brought all the people out to want to wish him farewell. It was what he did and the person that he was off the field.
Cared so much for everybody. Just going through there and talking and seeing some old faces. And one of the things I said is that, the reason we're all here and all the memories is because of what he did. He made everybody feel included, made everybody feel special. And, he cared about people.
This morning, there will be a celebration of life here at the Tucker Civic Center. The doors are scheduled to open here at 9:30. When we got here at 7 a.m., people were already standing in line. This is what the line looks like right now, and they're expecting pretty large crowds for today's event. So if anybody from Jacksonville is still hoping to make that trip, they may want to get in the car now and head this way. For now, here in Tallahassee, Jamal St. Cyr for Channel 4, the local station.
And Jamal, we know that Coach Bowden's impact was so widespread. Have you seen anyone there from Jacksonville, and what kind of sense are you getting from those who knew him in the area you're in?
Well, you know, I'm at the first stop yesterday at the state capitol building. I actually ran into someone who made the trip from Jacksonville because he's a Florida State alum, and he said he was just so moved when he heard about Coach Bowden's passing that he wanted to be able to come and pay his respects. I also ran into another former player. Todd Fordham is a Jacksonville resident currently, and he said that, you know, he's just been touched to see so many people that have come out to pay their respects to Coach Bowden.
Absolutely, Jamal. Thank you so much.
Cutting its cruise short. One ship is heading back to port after dozens on board test positive for COVID-19.
Ahead, the steps Carnival is taking to keep the other passengers from getting infected. Afghanistan on the brink of collapse, just weeks ahead of the planned pullout of U.S. troops.
Coming up, we'll talk to a local retired admiral to find out what he thinks went wrong.
News 4 Jax, coverage that won't waste your time.
After practicing for 30 years in this community, we have grown because of our heart and our family. We're proud to sponsor closed captioning.
Beaches Habitat for Humanity is celebrating 30 years of building homes, communities, and hope. In honor of its 30th anniversary, please donate $30 at beacheshabitat.org/positivelyjax.
Let a SunTrust checking account show you what it can do, like giving you cash back on debit card purchases from your favorite retailers. So sit back, earn, and enjoy the show.
I lie on the floor all day, which is how I got the gig as the Carpet One spokesdog. But I'm kind of chill, and Carpet One wanted excitement for their waterproof flooring sale. So I did a jingle.
Has water messed your floors up good? Woo! Save money on floors that are waterproof. Visit Carpet One.
Nailed it. Save up to $1,000 during the Carpet One Floor and Home Waterproof Flooring Sale, going on now.
When it comes to replacing or repairing your roof, you want quality workmanship and the nation's best warranty to cover you from the sun and storms of Central Florida. Universal Roofing Contracting has a Platinum Preferred Contractor certification, so you know that the job will be done right the first time. At Universal Roofing Contracting, we provide peace of mind so you can feel confident that your forever home has a forever roof. Visit us online at universalroof.com or call today for a free roof inspection.
Why do these nuggets look so weird?
Yikes.
Arby's has 100% chicken breast nuggets in kids' meals. Yay! For $1.
Value.
Arby's.
We have the meats.
Nominate a person or organization for our Positively Jax Award. Go to news4jax.com/positively-jax. We see the positive. Positively Jax is brought to you by Land Rover Jacksonville. Don't let inconvenient weather crash your plans.
Blue skies in the morning, showers and storms cranking up.
Chief Meteorologist John Gahn and the Weather Authority. Your forecast is our forte.
We've got cloudy and damp conditions.
Exact Track 4D, counting in every minute to expect delays.
Oakleaf in about 40 minutes time.
Whether you're a rock star parent or steering wheel soloist, stay tapped in and never miss a beat.
If you have the Weather Authority app, you just got an alert.
The Weather Authority on News 4 Jax. Always watching, always tracking. Exact Track 4D, the Weather Authority's secret weapon against severe storms. The most cutting-edge weather technology in Northeast Florida and South Georgia.
After around a month of being quiet, the tropics are firing right back up. And right now we're taking a look at Fred, which is still a tropical depression, unorganized as it makes its way over Cuba and into the southern Gulf of Mexico here over the next 12 hours or so. It won't re-intensify into a tropical storm until it moves over those warmer waters of the Gulf and then tracks off to the north-northwest, closer to the northern Gulf Coast. We're talking those of you from Mississippi all the way over to the Florida Panhandle. That leaves northeast Florida and southeast Georgia and really the whole peninsula of Florida outside of the cone of uncertainty. Right now, Fred has max sustained wind speeds of only 35 miles per hour. Now we're talking about the impacts of Fred. Heavy rainfall. As it continues to track west, the heaviest of rainfall will be over the Gulf until it makes landfall along the northern Gulf. There is a chance you can see some few outer bands, though, pushing through portions of the west coast of Florida. Now in terms of storm surge, anywhere from South Florida up to Panama City into Mobile and Mississippi, you could see elevated tides especially at high tide, and even some rise in some of those waters. So I would watch that very closely, but not necessarily here along northeast Florida. Now taking a look at Tropical Storm Grace. Formed overnight, max sustained wind speeds right now at 40 miles per hour as it continues to track off to the west. Now models are suggesting it's going to make its way through, or at least the cone is, that it's going to make its way over Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. Pretty certain about that. It's when it moves over to Wednesday and the Thursday in Cuba into South Florida that there becomes a little bit of uncertainty with the storm. So if we take a look at some of the models, it starts to stay pretty concise as it moves over Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, and then they start to split. Some models are giving it to northeasterly turn, which would be worst case scenario for us. That's when we feel our impacts. Most of them really keeping it south of Florida, skimming South Florida and Miami, and then moving into the Gulf, and a few of the models lingering just south of Cuba. Taking a look at our Barron 3K model here of rain as we move forward. We take a look at 6 a.m. Notice areas of grace moving over Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, heading into Tuesday. Wednesday into Thursday, though, you see that little tropical wave, that little bend in the winds we're seeing right here, and the heavy rainfall moving into portions of the Bahamas and then south of Florida, impacting those in Miami, and then even into southern Florida in the West Coast area. You're seeing just that band of rainfall move on through and then push into the Gulf. You can see with the latest update, heavy rainfall sitting south of Florida, so maybe it moves up into portions of West Florida. A lot of uncertainty with this model. This model does not bring it up the West Coast, but some of them do, and that's why we're going to be watching Grace very carefully. Here's a look at Jacksonville Beach right now. You can see a few clouds out there, but that's not going to stop people heading to the beach. Looks like they're setting up for something. Calm winds in Jacksonville, 7 miles per hour in St. Augustine, 81 degrees already in St. Augustine, 77 in Jacksonville, 79 up in Brunswick, Georgia. Temperature trend through the morning by 10 a.m., 85 degrees by 11 a.m., 87 degrees, and increasing those rain chances ever so slightly. If you do plan on heading to the beach today, air temperature in the upper 80s, low 90s. UV index very high with a moderate rip current risk. Surf, you're looking at anything from 2 to 3 feet for today. Live exact track 4D radar. If we zoom things out, you are taking a look here. Portions of southeast Georgia, you're on the drier side, but as we move into northeast Florida, mainly along our coastline here, in portions of St. Johns County, you're looking at some showers, light showers from Nocatee to Sampson area across Highway 1 there. South Ponte Vedra Beach, you're seeing some of those showers move on through. Over by areas of St. Augustine, downtown St. Augustine, you're on the drier side. But if you follow A1A South, St. Augustine Beach, and then following A1A South, you're seeing some of that heavy rainfall continue to push its way through here. And we're also looking at State Road 206 East. You're seeing some of that heavy rainfall continue to push on through. And that's going to follow you south on I-95 all the way to get to Palm Coast and even down towards Beverly Beach, just south the viewing area. So again, we're continuing to watch some of these showers developing offshore, and they're going to continue to push inland as we head through this morning. So those are mainly south of I-10. We're talking coastal areas of St. Johns County into Flagler County. That's where you're seeing the showers so far this morning. They'll continue to push onshore as we head into this afternoon around 4 p.m. Still seeing some of those scattered showers pushing on through. Dry things out by 8, 9 o'clock tonight. And then as we head into tomorrow, starting off on the drier side, but the chance of some afternoon showers and thunderstorms mainly along the sea breeze to develop through the afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock, and then push inland as you head throughout the day, drying things out by 5, 6 o'clock as you head into your Sunday evening. Now keep in mind the Jaguars do play tonight, so there could be some potential for some of that rain to push on through as we head into this evening. We'll be watching that potential very closely going forward. Rain does stay in our forecast as we head through the work week here, so keep that in mind. Grab the umbrella, keep it handy as you head into Monday through the next 7-day stretch. 90 degrees forecasted for today. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. Don't let the clouds fool you. You will see a sprinkle of sunshine as you head throughout the day. And 7-day forecast keeps us just a degree or two below our seasonal average in the upper 80s, low 90s all week long. Daily isolated rain chances there with overnight lows in the 70s. Remember, you can always get updates on the new Weather Authority app and on the radio, 107.3 Planet Radio.
Danielle, thank you. The Taliban is launching a multi-pronged assault on a major city in Afghanistan. Insurgents have captured much of northern, western, and southern parts of that nation. This comes less than 3 weeks before the U.S. is set to withdraw its last troops. Right now, it is not known how many people have died or have been captured. This is a look at the areas the Taliban has now taken control of. 18 cities in total have fallen in the last 8 days. Nearly 3,000 U.S. troops are expected to be in place by the end of the day tomorrow. Joining us this morning is Admiral Bob Natter, a 4-star retired member of the Navy. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Zach.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are so interested in hearing your perspective on this situation.
Well, you know, with the very sudden announcement that we were leaving, I think that just gave the Taliban the signal to mass and start their offensive, which is going quite nicely from their perspective and quite badly from ours.
Leading up to this point, in your opinion, is there anything that could have been done differently that could have prevented this?
Well, again, whenever you nail down a certain date for either invading or retreating or evacuating, all that does is tell the opposition exactly what you're going to be doing. Then they adjust their plans accordingly, which they've done and which they are executing quite nicely.
Do you think all of the work the country has done throughout the past couple of decades is coming undone?
I'm afraid you're correct. The reality is the Taliban will take over Afghanistan within a matter of a couple of weeks if they continue moving as well as they are right now. The reality also is that I do agree with the administration that we couldn't stay there forever. But having said that, the execution of our departure has been handled by amateurs.
Interesting. What would you suggest the country does now moving forward?
Well, we've got no choice. If we're actually going to pull our troops out, and I would suggest our embassy will follow very quickly, we've got to do what we're doing now, is put enough forces in there to be able to pull out as well as we can and as safely as we can. But it's not a good way to do military operations at all.
When we talk about forces, you're talking about forces, when we talk about resources, why is it the Afghans cannot fend off the Taliban?
Well, look, Afghanistan has never been a united nation, ever. It's a group of tribes that are in a boundary established by the British when they left. It doesn't mean that they're unified in any way. Look, we went through a civil war to become a unified nation, and we're relatively educated. Those are a group of tribes. They've never been conquered. They've never been truly unified, and we're not going to do it either.
We're talking about some nearly 3,000 U.S. troops are expected to be in place by the end of the day tomorrow. What are these men and women going through right now, having to mobilize in these areas?
Well, it is a credit to our military to be able to mobilize and deploy that quickly and be that prepared on a daily basis. So that's a great credit to our military, mostly Army and Marines, and the Air Force getting them there. Having said that, they've got to get on the ground and establish an area from which to operate, from which to move our forces from where they're located out to a central airport and get their airlift there and get them out. That's not going to be easy if the Taliban want to oppose that movement.
Well, we will be watching and we will be thinking of them. Admiral Natter, thank you for joining us this morning, and thank you for your service.
Thank you, Zach.
We're back right after this.
At My Eye Lab, we welcome walk-ins. So when you need an eye exam, you can get one on demand. Get 2 pair of eyeglasses plus a free eye exam for as low as $59.95. My Eye Lab. Satisfy your eyes.
My mom hired a bath fitter to make me a new bath. My friend Jimmy said that when he got a new bath, it took forever. Jimmy didn't have to take a bath for a month. I didn't even get to miss one bath. It's just not fair.
Bath Fitter will remodel your bath in as little as 1 day. We've got over 2 million satisfied customers and 35 years experience. Call now or visit bathfitter.com for a free in-home consultation.
Home selling with OfferPad is as easy as...
Welcome to OfferPad. How can we help?
We want to sell our home to buy this one.
Cool. Sell to buy. We're ready to close in 14 days. Okay, we're moving fast. Let's do this.
Request your free offer today at OfferPad.com.
Need a floor that can handle this? Then come to the Floor Trader. You'll find the latest styles that are pet-proof, waterproof, and yes, even this proof. Plus, everything's in stock and ready to go, so you can take it home the very same day. Shop now and save up to 50% on the latest in-stock styles of hardwood, carpet, luxury vinyl, and more. Plus, no interest monthly financing. Sale ends soon, so hurry in.
Floor Trader, the money saver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. I'll give you not 1, 2, but 3 reasons to buy. We give back to our schools, and not just once, but year after year. We support student athletes and scholars, and each year we recognize the Teacher of the Year with a brand new ride. We love our teachers. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville to help support your local schools. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Can you size my ring?
Change my watch battery?
Today? Yes.
Fast Fix provides on-site jewelry and watch repair services with custom designs, engraving, and more. It might be better to ask what we don't do. Fast Fix, Avenues and St. John's Town Center.
Auto accident? Just call Pendas. Offices, Jacksonville.
At My Eye Lab, we want your eyes to enjoy every part of the eye care experience. Even the advertising. For a limited time, get a free blue light filter upgrade with any eyeglass purchase. My Eye Lab. Satisfy your eyes.
Cash is flowing into the 2022 governor's race. We're talking about a lot of cash, $5 million to be exact, in the month of July alone.
That's a lot of money. Well, as Mike Vasalinda tells us, Governor Ron DeSantis holds a more than 22-to-1 advantage on cash hand, but it is likely to be short-lived.
The political committee, Friends of Ron DeSantis, has been having a great year, raising over $40 million since January.
On illegal immigration, on shutting down businesses, on masking, all of those issues have been things that people are pushing back against, and he's been the guy fighting it.
In July alone, the committee took in just over $4.2 million, much of it from the sale of merchandise with the theme Keep Florida Free.
Are you ready for a new governor?
Now a Democrat, former GOP Governor Charlie Crist raised $503,000 last month. He has $2.2 million on hand in his 2 political accounts.
Nobody thought that I was going to be able to win.
And as Florida's only statewide elected Democrat, Nikki Fried's political committee has raised $1.4 million since the first of the year. There's another $526,000 in the campaign account. She trailed Crist in July fundraising, but has more than $2.5 million on hand. Democrats say the cash on hand now doesn't matter. What's important, they say, is are they competitive after their primary? Fried has been critical of the governor for raising money instead of spending every day in the state.
He needs to be focusing on the people of our state and not traveling across the country.
But beyond criticizing the governor, Fried declined to discuss her fundraising.
We are in the Capitol, and I don't want to talk campaign strategies and platforms. We can certainly do that offline.
But the fundraising is only going to get more intense. The governor's goal is to raise $150 million. Democrats are hoping for $100 million when all is said and done. Reporting from the state capitol, Mike Vasalinda, Channel 4, the local station.
The Crist campaign declined to be interviewed for this story.
Walt Disney World is turning 50 in less than 2 months, and the parks are getting ready for a magical celebration. Yesterday, Disney fans got a sneak peek at the anthem for the celebration, The Magic is Calling. The song will connect all 4 parks together during the Beacon of Magic light show displayed each night of the celebration. Park guests will also be able to hear The Magic is Calling during the day in the parks.
Epcot is celebrating the 50th anniversary with big changes. Not only will the park have a new Lagoon Night show and a Ratatouille ride, the park is opening a new space-themed restaurant. Space 220 starts with an elevator ride taking guests 220 miles above Earth's surface. Look at that. Once the guests reach the dining room, they'll enjoy out of this world, get it? Food with a panoramic view of Earth and surrounding satellites. The restaurant will open next month, just in time for the 50th anniversary celebration. Well, keeping COVID out of our courtrooms ahead the new safety requirements one group of lawyers is pushing for as new cases spike in and out of jails.
And months after contracting COVID-19, many still suffering with life-altering conditions. Ahead, just how many patients are dealing with severe symptoms like memory loss or breathing problems.
Channel 4 brings you the Battle in the Big Easy pregame show. Watch for a chance to win Jags season tickets. You must be a News 4 Jax insider to win. Then, stay with us as the Jacksonville Jaguars take on the New Orleans Saints right here on Channel 4. After the game, hear from coaches and players with live coverage from the Superdome. Watch the Battle in the Big Easy pregame show and find out how you could win season tickets. Live from Island Wing Company, August 23rd at 7 on Channel 4, the local station.
Join Planet Fitness today for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. We're squeaky clean with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today.
Join now for no enrollment, $10 a month with no commitment. Hurry, deal ends August 16th.
I lie on the floor all day, which is how I got the gig as the Carpet One spokesdog. But I'm kind of chill, and Carpet One wanted excitement for their waterproof flooring sale. So I did a jingle.
Has water messed your floors up good? Woo! Save money on floors that are waterproof. Visit Carpet One.
Nailed it. Save up to $1,000 during the Carpet One Floor and Home Waterproof Flooring Sale. Going on now.
Next, ET. Kelly Clarkson's big voice announcement only on ET.
I'm excited, y'all.
Plus, our exclusive with Dan and Shay in Nashville. Then, Drew Barrymore stops by next ET.
Monday at 7 on Channel 4, the local station.
NexGard is the flea and tick protection that's #1 with vets. It even prevents the infection that causes Lyme disease. Your vet trusts NexGard for her patients and her own dog. Plus, its delicious beef flavor is #1 with dogs. Ask your vet about NexGard.
One day at work, I slipped and fell and blacked out. After the accident, my employer was basically forcing me back to work. They were not concerned about the pain that I was feeling. Nobody cared about me being hurt. When I called Morgan & Morgan, everything changed. I'm not 100%, but I'm a hell of a lot better than I was last year. If anybody calls me in need of a lawyer, trust me, I'm sending them straight to Morgan & Morgan.
Join Planet Fitness today for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. We're squeaky clean with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today.
Join now for no enrollment, $10 a month with no commitment. Hurry, deal ends August 16th.
Live from the local station, the morning show starts now.
Tracking the tropics, where the Weather Authority is now monitoring 2 systems. Fred is moving across Cuba as a new system is taking shape to the east. You are taking a live look at Pigeon Key, just south of Marathon, as Florida is no longer in the cone for Fred. Good morning and thank you so much for joining us. While Fred remained a depression overnight, the National Hurricane Center named a new tropical storm overnight, Tropical Storm Grace.
After not seeing a storm for a month since Elsa, storm activity is picking up as we approach the peak of hurricane season. Danielle Giuliano is monitoring both Fred and Grace. Good morning, Danielle.
Good morning. Yeah, we're keeping a close eye on Fred as it continues to move over Cuba into the southern Gulf of Mexico. Once it moves into the Gulf and taps into those warm waters, that's when we'll see the tropical depression intensify back into a tropical storm here as you head into Sunday. So right now, Fred has max sustained wind speeds of only 35 miles per hour, forecasted to become a tropical storm once again by Sunday, and then Tuesday into Wednesday making its way along the northern Florida panhandle. We're talking areas of Panama City, Pensacola, and then moving into areas of Mobile, Alabama, and even into Mississippi with the latest track. That leaves the Florida Peninsula outside of the cone, not impacting us directly here in northeast Florida or in southeast Georgia. We're also watching Tropical Storm Grace. Right now, max sustained wind speeds for Grace are at 40 miles per hour. Cone has it moving over Sunday into Monday portions of Puerto Rico into the Dominican Republic, and then moving into Wednesday, even into Thursday, just north of the Cuba area and really sweeping portions of South Florida. So Wednesday into Thursday, we're going to be watching Grace very closely going forward here, because models are suggesting that it skims South Florida. Some models having it moving up the East Coast. We're going to be watching Grace very closely. But what I really want to show you here is we take a look at our cameras. We do have a lot of cloud cover, and even South Ponte Vedra Beach, there's a little raindrops on the camera. That's because if we take a look right now at live Exact Track 4G radar, notice we do have some shower activity making its way through. Those of you in St. Augustine, you're seeing some heavy rainfall move on through St. Augustine Beach across I-95, following A1A south into Palm Coast, and then even over in portions of south, or I should say east of Crescent City. Now, if you move north of St. Augustine area, you're mainly on the drier side. A little bit of a shower moving through the Deerwood Club area along I-95, but other than that, just some very light showers. If we zoom things out though, big picture, we're watching the shower activity just offshore, and that's going to continue to move inland as we head through today. And I'm going to take you through the timing of some of those showers coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Danielle. New coronavirus cases are soaring nationwide. Cases week over week have increased 700% since July 1st.
In late June, the average cases nationwide was about 10,000. The nationwide average now is close to 125,000. Officials at Johns Hopkins University says there have been more cases in the first 12 days of this month than all of last month. Florida is once again the epicenter of it all. The state seeing the most cases over the last week than any other 7-day period during the pandemic. Florida also has the second highest rate of new cases per capita, right behind Louisiana.
Across the country, the National Guard is being deployed in Oregon. Officials say it is to support hospitals in the state as ICU beds fill up. Up to 1,500 members will be available, but 500 will be deployed initially. In Mississippi, health officials there have opened a 20-bed field hospital inside a parking garage. HHS is opening a mobile hospital tent, and that will open up next week.
The Northeast chapter of the Florida Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers is now calling for changes in COVID court protocols. Its president says attorneys are worried about the impact the Delta variant is having on the courtroom. Shannon Choate says the clerks in Clay County got sick, which prompted the courthouse there to shut down. In June, in-person hearings resumed at the Duval County Courthouse after proceedings were held via Zoom for more than a year. Attorneys say they want the option to go back to Zoom.
Judge Mahan just needs to understand that we can do our jobs very effectively, that we want trials to continue to happen, and that is why we were asking for this.
We don't have unlimited resources at the jail to get the inmates virtually into the courtrooms. That becomes a problem. It also pinches the public defender's ability to communicate with those inmates in the jail because we're throwing him off those polycoms.
JSO says more than a third of the inmates in Duval County are in quarantine and 96 have tested positive. Judge Mahone says he does not want to delay court cases any longer.
Up to a third of people who get COVID-19 have symptoms for months or longer. Some symptoms include memory loss, heart failure, breathing problems, and digestive issues. Dr. Anthony Fauci says even vaccinated people with a breakthrough infection can suffer long-term effects. 39-year-old Kimberly Cooley received her second vaccine in February, but a liver transplant in 2018 left her immunocompromised due to daily immune system medications.
I went to a local clinic near my home and requested a antibodies test and received the results, and I did not mount any antibodies. We really don't have an immune system to fight off the virus. And so, it's kind of a open game.
A study of over 18,000 fully vaccinated transplant patients found that they were 82 times more likely to develop a post-vaccination infection and 485 more times likely to be hospitalized or die from COVID-19. Carnival Cruise is reporting dozens of new COVID-19 cases on one of its ships. It's heading back to Texas and is reporting 27 people with the virus.
Nearly all of the cases are crew members. The ship is carrying 1,400 crew and nearly 3,000 passengers. All 27 were vaccinated and reported either mild or no symptoms at all. The company says everyone was notified. Carnival says everyone who tested positive is in isolation and they do not pose a threat to other crew members or guests. Canada is now requiring those flying into the country to be fully vaccinated. The country began allowing those who are fully vaccinated from the U.S. to enter the country. It has caused a backlog of cars at the border. Officials are looking at extending the reopening to other nations in early September. Canada currently has one of the highest vaccination rates in the world, standing at 71%.
Live Nation is the latest entertainment company to update its coronavirus policy. The company says starting October 4th, customers will need to show proof of vaccination or that you have tested negative for the virus. Live Nation is one of the largest live entertainment companies in the nation. It hosts about 40,000 shows and more than 100 festivals each year. The company adds all employees will need to be vaccinated as well.
Listen up, singles, or people who maybe aren't single and are on dating apps, are making it easier for users to share their COVID-19 vaccination status. Now that people are getting the vaccine, it might just be the one question that prompts a swipe to the right or the left. OkCupid and Match.com have vaccination badges you can add to your profile. The sites will even boost your exposure as a perk of getting the shot.
There was a lot of desire to understand who was vaccinated, who was not vaccinated. People are excited. They're excited to date. They're excited to get back out there, and they're making choices based on, their own risk tolerance.
The function is meant to give users more options to make their dating experience a little easier. New Mexico police say a 13-year-old shot and killed a classmate Friday. The shooting happened while children were outside for lunch. School personnel and resource officers made sure the rest of the students were safe. The school was placed on lockdown and parents were able to pick up their child. Police say more officers will be on campus when students return to class. Lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer in Florida, and it affects more than just people who smoke.
Yeah, coming up, we'll talk to a woman who beat lung cancer to find out how you can help the millions in our state battling the disease. Check out today's fans of the day, Betty and her family. Today is also her 87th birthday. Happy birthday, Betty. If you want to be tomorrow's fans, we're now collecting submissions on Snapjacks, but you must be part of News4Jax Insider, our free club for loyal fans to share these photos. Share your submissions by going to news4jax.com/snapjacks and select Fan of the Day from the drop-down menu.
You know that fresh made-to-order salad you've been craving? What if you could get it with fire-roasted corn, crispy tortilla strips, and Southwest ranch dressing? That's what we call the Southwest salad. It's brand new, and it's only at Zaxby's. Redeem rewards, scan to pay, order ahead on the Zaxby's app.
Belvita, the Dip It, Sip It breakfast biscuit. Dip it, sip it. Belvita biscuit. Dip it, sip it. Belvita biscuit. Double dip it, double sip it. Belvita biscuit. Make every morning delicious with Belvita.
Expertly tailored eye care. State-of-the-art eye exams. High-quality lenses and frames. Because everything we do at LensCrafters is for every sight that makes your life special. Book your annual eye exam now. LensCrafters. Because sight.
My generator from Generator Supercenter is a great investment for my house. A power transformer blew in the subdivision and all my lights were on. Everything in my house was working. There's 2 or 3 other neighbors that are putting in their generators now because of mine. It's a great peace of mind knowing that when power goes out, it's not going to affect us at all.
Get peace of mind with a Generac automatic standby generator with solutions starting at $125 per month. Only at Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer.
Get ready to add a little pop to your home with my Cindy Crawford Colors collection at Rooms to Go. New eye-catching colors across an incredible selection that make it easy to find your style. Make it bold. Make it fun. Make it yours. With beautiful pieces you can design an entire room around. So get creative with color and do it all at an affordable price. Come see what's new for my Cindy Crawford Colors collection at Rooms to Go.
With Sharp's one-day floor coatings, you can upgrade your pool deck, garage, patio, or driveway.
Most of our jobs only take 1 day to install, but last a lifetime. Unlike typical epoxy paint, our coatings are 6 times stronger and physically bond to your concrete, giving you a durable surface that lasts.
Take your concrete to the next level with a durable, stylish coating that is sure to impress. Book soon to enjoy $300 off your project. Call now, 904-519-5055.
Imagine a salad made with fresh-cut vegetables and warm hand-breaded chicken. Does that even exist? Not yet, because we don't make it until you order it. Try the new Southwest Salad, only at Zaxby's. Order on your favorite delivery app.
Living healthy, lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer in Florida and across the U.S. Anyone can get lung cancer. And here in Florida, more than 2.6 million people live with this chronic disease. So joining me today on the morning show is Patricia Pat Fitzpatrick, who was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. Now, Patricia, you turned 70 years old, which is a milestone because you didn't think you could reach that. Well, first off, congratulations, because that is absolutely incredible.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Of course, we're so glad you could join us. So my first question is, how do you live a relatively normal life while going in for treatments?
Well, I went through chemotherapy for 3 months, and this was back in 2015. And then I was able to get on the immunotherapy drug Opdivo in 2017. And basically, this immunotherapy drug has kept me alive since then. And I have been in remission now for 4 years.
That is incredible. I'm so happy for you. But I know this journey has not been easy. So how did you find the strength to keep going even during these treatments?
Well, I mean, the strength comes from family and friends, obviously. I've got beautiful daughters, a great husband, and grandchildren. So that is my reason for still being here, and the reason I fight, and the reason I am so passionate about the research for cancer, for lung cancer, for any lung disease, and really for any type of cancer.
And speaking of research, we know how important research is to helping people, like you survive. So you are taking part in the Walk with the American Lung Association. Tell me a little bit about that and why you're so passionate about walking in it this month.
Absolutely. This is a fundraiser for research for lung disease, to make everybody be able to live with it like I am. The money that we get from the Lung Force Run Walk, which is actually coming next weekend, August 21st at 8 o'clock at the Haskell Building. All of the donations go to lung cancer research. And lung cancer, just because you don't have lung cancer, there's all kinds of lung diseases out there also that people are living with. And all of the research is making everybody's lives better. And I'm a really good example of that.
And Patricia, you are absolutely an inspiration to so many people. What advice would you give to people who are battling lung cancer right now, who are on the brink of giving up?
Don't give up. Listen, it's all about timing. There's so many clinical trials out there, and immunotherapy is the new drug that we're hoping. Also, they do combine it with chemotherapy, but between the two drugs, we're hoping that we can have a treatment for every kind of cancer.
And I'm curious to know, how did this immunotherapy treatment, this new treatment, how did it really impact your life?
Actually, it doesn't have much of a effect at all. There's very minimal side effects. So I am just carrying on a very normal life. I live every day to the fullest because I know any day you cannot be here on this planet. And I walk over a mile a day every morning, and I'm living an absolutely 100% beautiful, normal life.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Patricia. We absolutely admire your bravery and your strength. You were so courageous.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Patricia Fitzpatrick. Thank you.
ExactTrack 4D constantly scans for new threats in your neighborhood, alerting you faster than ever when severe storms are heading your way.
We're taking a live look at our satellite and imagery right now of Tropical Depression Fred as it continues to make its way over portions of Cuba and then move into the southern Gulf Coast as we head into, or the southern Gulf of Mexico, I should say, as we head into the next 12 hours or so. Forecast to become a tropical storm once again as it moves over those open waters here Sunday morning. So around tonight into early Sunday morning, forecasted to re-strengthen as it taps into those warmer waters. Right now, max sustained wind speeds of only 35 miles per hour. Notice, though, that northeast Florida and southeast Georgia no longer in the cone of uncertainty. Day after day, they've been continuing to push the cone further off to the west. Now, if we're taking a look at the impacts of Fred, heavy rain potential, mainly along the northern Gulf Coast. That's where you're going to see the heaviest of rainfall, especially on the eastern side of the storm. Some of those outer bands could reach portions of the west coast of Florida. Now, in terms of rip currents, you could see higher rip currents, especially along the west coast, and elevated rip current risks as you head along the east coast of Florida in total. Also taking a look at now Tropical Storm Grace. Grace formed into a tropical storm overnight. Right now has max sustained wind speeds of 40 miles per hour. Moving west at 22 miles per hour, making its way over Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic as you head into Sunday, into Monday. And then notice Wednesday into Thursday gets a little close to areas of South Florida. Now, once it moves past South Florida, that's where we're going to see the uncertainty. Where it turns will be a big question. There is a chance that we could feel the local impacts here in Northeast Florida going forward here. We're going to be taking a very close look at Grace going forward as we head through the next few days. Models showing very good conduciveness as it heads into portions of Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and then they start to spread a little bit past Cuba. A good chunk of them have it moving past South Florida. Some of them have it moving up the East Coast. Some of it keep it south of Cuba. So that's what we're going to be watching Grace very carefully going forward. Here's a look at the beach cam. We've been watching this very closely. There's something going on at the beach here. We can see we're not quite sure what it is, so go ahead and let us out. They might be doing a paddle out for something as we head into this morning there, or they might be doing something at the beach, so we'll be watching that. As we head through the day, 87 degrees at 11 a.m. By 1 p.m., 90 degrees out there, 89 degrees if you're heading to the beach today, so it is still going to be hot and humid out there. There is a slight chance of some showers, UV index very high, sunscreen is a must. Rip current risk is moderate along our beaches. Now taking a look at live Exact Track 4G radar. Yeah, we do have some showers out there to kickstart our morning. They're building off the coast and they're starting to move inland, especially in St. Johns County. We're starting to see some of that shower activity. We're talking South Ponte Vedra Beach, seeing some of the rain down I-95 into St. Augustine, definitely off to a wet start this morning, St. Augustine Beach. And following that down A1A, you're seeing those heavy showers making their way through. Notice total lightning strikes, though, sitting at 0, so it's just some heavy rainfall. But we do know downtown St. Augustine floods very easily. And then some of those showers over by the Palm Coast area. Hastings, Palaca, you're on the drier side. Some light showers possibly reaching areas of Clay County, Green Cove Springs right now, and across Highway 17. So these are just some of the showers that we're going to see continue to make their way on shore as we head through this morning into this afternoon. Some of these showers could pack the punch later on this morning, just some light to moderate rainfall. We head into 4 p.m. Notice shower activity kind of intensifying here just to the west of the I-95 corridor and then starting to taper things out 5, 6 o'clock tonight. Dry overnight heading into Sunday. Sunday's a little bit on the drier side. By 9 a.m. mostly dry, and then you head into the afternoon. 3, 4 o'clock, those sea breeze showers start to develop and they push inland as you head throughout the day. 7 p.m. we start to dry things out ever so slightly. And then Monday, another round of rainfall possible as you head throughout the day on Monday. Some of those could be a heavier, especially south of the I-10 corridor. So rain stays in our forecast. Long story short, over the next 7-day stretch, grab the umbrella, keep it in the car, and just leave it there. You're going to need it at some point. 90 degrees for today, hot and humid with scattered showers likely throughout this morning and into this evening. And that's a repetitive pattern as we head through the next 7-day stretch. Of course, we're watching the tropics. We're watching the potential Wednesday into Thursday to see what Grace will do as we head into next weekend. As a result, temperatures are staying just a degree or two below our seasonal average in the upper 80s, low 90s. Remember, you can always get updates on the New Weather Authority app and on the radio, 107.3 Planet Radio. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Your go-to weather app just got 100 times better. The new Weather Authority app. Everything you need to know right on the homepage from the team you know and trust.
And easy-to-read radar with custom layers and one-tap storm tracking.
Personalized weather alerts when and where you need them the most.
Stay alert of local storm damage and find important supplies near you with Snapchat.
No clutter, no clicking around. Just your forecast fast. Download the new Weather Authority app today. Just search for News 4 Jax in your app store. In 2021, join us in Random Jacks of Kindness, a year-long commitment to paying it forward with acts big and small. Practice Random Jacks of Kindness. Sign the pledge on PositivelyJax.com.
We have big rolls of carpet, hardwood too, laminate, tile, area rocks for you. At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man.
Our prices are low, 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 low.
At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man.
Don't delay, we'll put it in next day.
At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man. Y'all them sees now, you hear? At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man.
Visit one of our mega flooring stores or go to carpetman.biz.
After the accident,
I was stuck paying all these medical bills.
The Witherspoon Law Group understands that you didn't deserve what happened to you, but you do deserve justice.
They weren't just there for me, they fought for me.
I care about what my clients are going through. We are in the fight of their lives.
We don't just fight for you, we fight alongside you and fight to get you the compensation you deserve.
That's why we do what we do. And what we do is fight to win.
Call 833-53-FIGHT.
I have always wanted to do this. This is gonna be awesome! Let's do this!
Babe, what are you doing?
Gonna demo the bathroom. Who are you?
The Bathfitter installer, remember? Bathfitter custom made our new bath to fit perfectly over the old one, so there's no demo or mess.
Impressive. Wait, so no demo? Sorry, man.
Bathfitter will remodel your bath with no messy demolition in as little as 1 day. Call now or visit bathfitter.com for a free in-home consultation.
Beaches Habitat for Humanity is celebrating 30 years of building homes, communities, and hope. In honor of its 30th anniversary, please donate $30 at beacheshabitat.org/positivelyjacks.
It's time for 4's Pet Project, sponsored by Harold and Harold.
Those ad friends of Jacksonville Animals want you to meet Petey. He is so adorable. Petey is 2 years old but weighs 54 pounds. Look at him there. He is currently being fostered. His foster mom says he is the best dog. Petey is great with kids, dogs, and is even gentle with foster kittens. He just had his first adventure to the beach. Petey, however, is hoping to have his own family to take beach trips with. That's so adorable.
He is beautiful. He would be, look at that, great co-pilot.
He would be perfect for any home.
Brianna.
I know, every time I see these, I'm like, I want to go get a dog, like, immediately.
And with the kitten and the child, he's a good boy.
Oh, so cute.
To adopt Petey, all you have to do is stop by Animal Care and Protective Services at 2020 Forest Street. They're open from noon to 7, Tuesday through Friday, and from 10 to 6, Saturday and Sunday. Well, first we're going to talk about helping out the family.
Yeah.
A 6-year-old boy is taking a big leap to get a new house.
Hey guys, do you want to swade with me?
The deals that this little man is making to turn a paperclip into a house.
Monday, the boys are back. It's hard for me to keep the secret.
I can imagine that it would be hard for you to keep a secret.
Next, Kelly.
This is way better than The Voice.
Monday at 3 on Channel 4.
The Olympic Games are on, and Toyota has great deals on Camry, Highlander, RAV4, and more.
Right now, get 0% APR for 36 months on a new 2021 Toyota RAV4.
But it all ends September 7th.
Toyota, let's go places.
Just call PennDOS. Just call PennDOS.
Just call PennDOS.
Just call PennDOS.
Well, you heard them. Accident, just call PennDOS.
Floridians are fighting back.
We are coming together to do our part.
Getting a vaccine can protect not only you, but your loved ones too.
It's easy,
it's safe,
and it's effective.
It doesn't matter where you live
or what you do for a living. If you are eligible to receive a vaccine, there's a vaccine available for you.
As we get back to normal,
let's do this together.
Well, hello, Winn-Dixie.
I want to win!
Look at that big bag of wins. Perfectly picked. Delivered super quick. Wow, look at that big bag of wins. Perfectly picked. Delivered super quick.
We just start at Winn-Dixie.com/shop online, build our cart, choose a delivery time, and boom, time to kick back and win. Best quality, winning grocery delivery. Winn-Dixie, it's a win-win.
Goodwill Industries is proud to have served North Florida for over 80 years. From scholarships to employment, your donations make a difference in our community for people like Nakia.
My name is Nakia, and I'm a certified surgical tech. I believe I ended up where I was supposed to be. I just decided I needed a change. One of my goals was to go back to school. Now I'm able to make a good living for my kids. Could I have done it without A-Step? No.
We are Goodwill, removing barriers to employment.
Toyota's national sales event is on now.
Right now, lease a new 2021 Toyota Camry LE for $229 a month for 36 months.
It all ends September 7th.
Toyota, let's go places.
Four's Pet Project is sponsored by the personal injury law firm of Harrell & Harrell.
8:58, a 6-year-old boy in Milwaukee is on a mission to help his family. Jackson is hoping to trade up for a new home.
Yes, and he actually started with a little tiny paper clip. Jackson says he recently traded a license plate for an iPad. His mom told him about a story of someone doing it successfully in 2005. That's when Jackson decided maybe, just maybe, he could trade his way up to get his family a new home. So sweet and so ambitious. In 3 days, he has traded up to 2 lawnmowers. Anything not traded will be donated. Jackson thinks it will take 30 years for him to trade up for the new house for his family. So sweet.
Very kind. Well, thank you so much for joining us at 8. The morning show at 9 starts right after the break.
I was involved in a very terrible car accident, and overnight my life changed. After being in a coma for several months, my family and friends had reached out to Morgan & Morgan. They've done right for so many people. Morgan & Morgan broke it down and kept it simple for me, but at the same time had my back. They've helped me restore something in my life that I thought I lost forever, the ability to provide for my family. I want people to know Morgan & Morgan truly just want to fight for you and what's right for the people.
We had this really awkward bonus space, California closets, created something out of nothing.
The designer did a whole closet analysis with me. We got to do things that were really fun that I would never have been able to figure out on my own.
She walked in and she already had an idea what could be done in that space. I was surprised how much she was able to fit in.
The first time I finally felt grown up was when I walked in. I was like, okay, now I have made it.
The Weather Authority tracking Fred. Live from the local station, the morning show starts now.
Tracking the tropics, Fred is slowly making its way into the Gulf, and this morning it's not the only storm we're monitoring.
The Weather Authority is tracking Fred and new tropical storms as they move closer towards Florida. Honoring a football legend, taking a live look at Tallahassee, where family, friends, and football fanatics are paying their respects to the former head coach of the Florida State Seminoles. Ahead, we'll show you how the school and entire state is paying tribute.
The push to get more people in Duval County vaccinated continues. The events planned this weekend and the new sites opening soon.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. This morning, we're waking up to a new tropical storm that's gathering strength, and it's not Fred we're talking about.
Tropical Storm Grace formed overnight as Fred is moving across Florida, heading west. Let's get straight to meteorologist Danielle Giuliano. She's tracking both of these symptoms. Danielle, what's the latest?
Well, we're watching Fred as it makes its way over Cuba. Now, some few outer bands may be reaching areas of the Keys, but no direct impacts right now to some locations in Florida. But those of you along the Florida Panhandle and the northern Gulf Coast are watching Fred very closely here in the coming days. Because if we go ahead and look at the track for Fred, as it moves over open water and warmer water of the Gulf here over the next 12 hours, it will re-intensify, at least it's forecasted to re-intensify into a tropical storm as you head into Saturday night into early Sunday morning. Max sustained wind speeds currently at 35 miles per hour. But then Fred will make its way along the northern Gulf Coast here, impacting those along the Florida Panhandle, Alabama coastline, and Mississippi coastline. So really anywhere from Panama City over to Biloxi, including Pensacola, and even into Mobile, Alabama. So that's where they're watching Fred. Now, us in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, we are outside of that cone by far as it continues to push to the west. Good news for us. Now we're taking a look at Tropical Storm Grace. Grace has intensified overnight, now a tropical storm, making its way closer to the Leeward Islands as we head through tonight. If you take a look at the cone of uncertainty here, you can see that it makes its way Sunday into Monday over Dominican Republic, over Puerto Rico, and then moves closer to and north of Cuba Wednesday into Thursday as it sweeps past southern portions of Florida. That's what we're going to be watching Grace very closely. Where does it go after it sweeps past the southern coast of Florida? Some models have it moving into the Gulf, and some models have it moving and turning back to the east. We're going to be watching Grace very closely in the coming days. Here's a live look over downtown. 80 degrees, feels like 84 degrees. But what we're watching really closely here are the showers that are making their way through on live Exact Track 4D radar. Most of the showers developing just offshore here if we look at big picture, and they're going to continue tracking off to the east, or west I should say, as we head through this morning. So wet areas as you head into the morning: Nocatee, South Ponte Vedra Beach, really in St. Johns County as a whole. All the way down A1A, you're seeing some of those showers continue to make their way through, and just north of the Palm Coast area. This shower activity will continue to push east, so those of you in Clay and in Putnam County will see some showers as you head through the late morning into the afternoon hours as well. We'll continue to track these rain chances, though, as we head into this afternoon, coming up here in just a few minutes.
Danielle, thank you. Well, if you haven't already, now is a good time to download the Weather Authority's Hurricane app. It's free for both Apple and Android devices. Be sure to enable push notifications. That way you'll always stay up to date on any inclement weather heading our way.
COVID-19 cases in Florida continue to surge as the most recent numbers from the Florida Department of Health show a 13% jump in new cases over the last week.
And this is the 8th week in a row showing an increase in new infections and an increase in positivity rate. The report shows more than 151,000 new cases reported this past week. The data equates to an average of more than 21,000 new cases per day for the last week. Deaths from COVID-19 have also increased. 1,071 have been tallied in the latest report. Duval County is showing slight improvement, though. New cases are down from the past 2 weeks, and the positivity rate has decreased as well. As new COVID-19 cases continue to surge, there's a push to get more people in Duval County vaccinated against COVID-19.
Yeah, that's right. Several organizations are working with the First Coast Leadership Foundation this weekend to get more people vaccinated. News4JAX reporter Aaron Farrar is live outside Lane Wiley Senior Center this morning for us. Aaron, this was the first, or one of the first locations throughout the Jacksonville area where the state rolled out that COVID-19 vaccine months ago. Now you're saying folks will be able to get vaccinated there again soon?
Good morning. Yes, people will be able to come back to this location next week, starting on Wednesday, for either testing and or a vaccination as well. There's going to be one of several sites to do this, but we want to explain what's happening today. Several other events happening to get more people in Duval County vaccinated. According to nonprofit COVID Act Now, 43% of Duval County is fully vaccinated. 53.5% of people in the county have received at least one dose. And so here are some of the events lined up starting today. There will be 2 events today from 10 o'clock this morning to 2 this afternoon. Wayman Ministries is offering the vaccine at 1176 LaBelle Street. Then from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock today, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity is hosting an event at this address, 3717 Moncrief Road, which is also near St. Matthew's Baptist Church. Then tomorrow from noon to 5 o'clock in the evening, Florida Black Expo is offering vaccination at 1225 West Beaver Street. And as I mentioned, here at Lane Wiley Senior Center, this site is going to open on Wednesday for both testing and vaccinations against COVID-19. But here's a breakdown of some of those other new sites that are going to be opening next week as well. Clansville Brown Community Center is opening on Monday. That site will provide both testing and vaccines. But here's something to make note of. The Beaches location, which is where the old Kmart used to be, will also open on Monday, but that site will only be for testing. The Emmett Reed and Cuba Center or Cuba Hunter Community Centers will each open on Thursday. Both of those centers will also offer vaccines and testing at those sites. Again, that starts on Thursday. To see a full list of those 5 new sites opening and the hours that they will be open, as well as the days throughout the week, you can find it on our website, news4jax.com. Reporting live, I'm Aaron Farrar, Channel 4, the local station.
Aaron, thanks so much. A lot of helpful information there. A brand new school year in Columbia County begins in tragedy. A soon-to-be high school senior has died after getting infected with COVID-19. 17-year-old Jokaria Graham was a student at Columbia High School. Her mother told News4JAX she was looking forward to her last year of high school and planned to attend the University of Florida to become a surgeon. The family says Graham was not vaccinated, but did take other precautions like wearing a face mask. The school's principal sent out a message on the high school's Facebook page saying, in part, I ask that everyone keep the family in your thoughts and prayers. Continue to pray for the friends and faculty and staff at CHS. The school said it will honor Graham with a tribute at this year's commencement ceremony.
The pandemic is also taking a toll on its schools in South Georgia, where county officials are closing all 11 schools after a sharp increase in coronavirus cases. This applies to both digital and in-person students and faculty members. The district says it will stay closed until next month. Officials say while instruction will not take place, extracurricular practices and competitions will continue as scheduled. Ware County Superintendent Bert Smith says the decision was made mostly because of staffing shortages.
Our teachers are having to cover classes and they have to teach their face-to-face students, but at the same time, they have to, address the kids who are quarantined. And there's not enough time in the day.
Only 29% of Ware County has been vaccinated against COVID-19, and only 15% of those between the ages of 15 and 19 have received both shots. FSU alumni, fans, and loved ones are paying their respect to former head coach Bobby Bowden. His celebration of life is happening this morning in Tallahassee.
And Coach Bowden is known for putting FSU's football program on the map. News4 Jax sports reporter Jamal St. Cyr is live in Tallahassee. Jamal, what's going on out there?
Well, the doors here at the Tucker Civic Center will open at 9:30, and let's take a look at the line. People have been standing out here in line waiting to get in since we arrived at 7 o'clock this morning. Here's a look at all the fans that are waiting to get in. A lot of garnet and gold, all hoping to get inside for the celebration of life for Coach Bowden. I've gotten a chance to talk to a few people that have been out here today, and they've told me that it's really the impact that he made in the community off the field. That's why so many people want to come out and pay their respects to Coach Bowden, not just for what he did on the football field or what he did for Florida State University. It's what he did in the community for the people and the way he was to everyone. People have told me that he always made them feel like he knew them personally, and he was almost like their best friend, even if this was their first time meeting him. And they're expecting it to be a capacity crowd here, and that's why a lot of these people made sure that they got out here early. They brought chairs because they were prepared to have to wait in line to get inside, because they just wanted to make sure that they would be here to say goodbye to the most beloved coach in Florida State football history. Here in Tallahassee, Jamal St. Cyr for Channel 4, the local station.
You know, Jamal, before we let you go, I want to ask you one thing. You've been turning reports for us on this for days now. One that resonated with me, an interview you did with a man who flew in from Denver, and he said when he got the news, he started to cry. He said he was starting to cry when he was talking with you. What has the mood been like among all of these people coming from near and far to pay tributes to Coach Bowden?
Well, you know, on Friday, it was much more emotional. There were a lot of people shedding tears for Coach Bowden, but today, it's a much more upbeat. It's more of a celebration of life. I mean, people are here, seem like they're ready to really celebrate who Coach Bowden was. When we got here, there were a group of people across the street with their chairs out, just tailgating as they waited to get in line to be able to get inside. And that really seems to be the energy that people are carrying in today. Today is much more upbeat, high energy, and truly a celebration, Zach.
Jamal St. Cyr live for us this morning in Tallahassee. We appreciate you. Thank you. Hold on to your vaccination card. A growing number of cities are requiring people to show proof they've received their shots.
And coming up, why you also might want to consider getting the shot if you're searching for a job. In a new response unit for an antibody treatment to COVID-19 is now treating patients here in Jacksonville.
After the break, we speak with a doctor who will join us live to discuss how effective this treatment is and how the referral process works. And before we go to break, a live look from Fernandina Beach Skycam. Mix of sun and clouds there this morning. A few people out on the water enjoying the start to the weekend. 9/11. We're back right after this.
The Morning Show on Channel 4, #1, 9 straight years and counting.
Every morning, see just how many local stories cover news that impact your family.
Watching and tracking the changes in the weather so you can plan your day.
Getting you around tie-ups of time-saver traffic.
Getting you ready for the day ahead.
Saving you money and alerting you to scams and ripoffs with Consumer Reports.
You just gotta see it.
We'll get your day started right.
The Morning Show on Channel 4 makes mornings happen.
Wake up with Hardee's.
You can have candy for breakfast.
Wait, what?
Because you are an adult.
You
$3 French toast dips. Sweeten up your morning at Hardee's. Feed your happy.
Well, the car was totaled. I had no vehicle, and I needed help. After that initial phone call to Fair and Fair, I had no problem. They were right there for me. If I needed a vehicle, I got it. When you have somebody there 24/7, it's special.
Farah and Farah, here for you, here for good.
It's my 310, no exit in sight, migraine medicine. It's Ubrelvy. For any time, anywhere migraine strikes without worrying if it's too late or where I am. One dose can quickly stop my migraine in its tracks within 2 hours.
Unlike older medicines, Ubrelvy is a pill that directly blocks CGRP protein, believed to be a cause of migraine. Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness.
Ask about Ubrelvy, the anytime, anywhere migraine medicine.
Right now, you can join Planet Fitness for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. We're keeping things squeaky clean with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out while you work out. And check out the crowd meter in our free app to pick the best time to visit. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. Join in club or at planetfitness.com.
Join now for no enrollment, $10 a month with no commitment. Hurry, deal ends August 16th.
Need a floor that can handle this? Then come to the Floor Trader. You'll find the latest styles that are pet-proof, waterproof, and yes, even this proof. Plus, everything's in stock and ready to go, so you can take it home the very same day. Shop now and save up to 50% on the latest in-stock styles of hardwood, carpet, luxury vinyl, and more. Plus, no interest monthly financing. Sale ends soon, so hurry in.
Floor Trader, the money saver. Exact Track 4D, tracking and dissecting storms down to your street.
Wake up with Hardee's. $2 sausage biscuit, $4 breakfast platter. But wait, new $3 French toast dips make the most important meal of the day more fun. Hardee's new $3 French toast dips, the sweet one on the 2-3 more breakfast menu. Feed your happy.
Florida is setting up a mobile response unit here in Jacksonville to bring more monoclonal antibody treatments similar to the drug Regeneron. Governor DeSantis says it will help both the unvaccinated and vaccinated people who test positive for COVID-19 and in the early stages. Joining us now to talk more about this is Dr. Sunil Joshi from the Duval County Medical Society Foundation. Good morning, Dr. Joshi.
Good morning, Verona.
Well, I'm so glad you could join us this morning. So at this point, we are more than a year in this pandemic. Is this treatment effective?
Well, this treatment is definitely effective. In fact, it has been used at Baptist Hospital and Mayo Clinic here in town for multiple months now. And in phase 3 trials, this particular monoclonal treatment has been shown to reduce hospitalizations in 70% of the people who have been infected. And again, so if you can get the treatment in early in the infectious process within the first 10 days, it has a very good chance of preventing hospitalization.
Wow. So there's a referral process for people to be able to receive this treatment. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, and so that's part of, what's been a little bit challenging for us as a medical community is understanding who exactly is going to qualify. But typically speaking, when the FDA approved this through the emergency use authorization, this drug was approved for folks who may have mild to moderate symptoms after testing positive for COVID-19, but are also at increased risk of having hospitalization. So these are folks who may have high blood pressure, kidney disease, heart disease, obesity, and respiratory conditions who may be having mild to moderate symptoms to get them this monoclonal treatment within the first 10 days. It can also be used in folks who have been exposed to somebody else who has COVID-19, and this person now is unvaccinated and has yet to have symptoms. So it can be used as a prophylaxis to prevent infection as well. And it does prevent infection in 80% of the people who go on it who have been exposed to somebody with COVID.
Wow. And what does the demand for referrals look like, and how is your office kind of keeping up with all of this?
Well, this just came out, a couple days ago, Thursday afternoon, and people are calling. We are allergists and immunologists, and we treat people with immune deficiencies. And folks with immune deficiencies are folks that would potentially benefit from this type of treatment if they were to be infected and test positive early in their course. And so people are calling whether or not we would be willing to do the referral. But fortunately, none of them are currently infected. But we, of course, would be willing to do the referral for these folks. And I do think people who are unvaccinated may end up taking advantage of this particular program. I think it's also very, very important to note that vaccination is truly the key way to get us out of this pandemic. These antibodies are for short-term success. They will get you through an episode of infection, but they do not provide long-term immunity. That's what the vaccine does.
And where can people who are interested take advantage and find more information about this treatment?
Now, again, talking to your doctor is critically important. Right now, you do need to have a doctor's referral, and that could be through your primary care doctor, specialist, or even through an urgent care or an emergency room setting to receive this treatment. And so it is important that you do speak with your healthcare provider. If you have tested positive, you have mild to moderate symptoms, to see if you may qualify for this treatment, and then he or she will do the referral for you.
That is so helpful. A lot of helpful information there. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Joshi. We really appreciate having you on this morning.
Thank you.
ExactTrack 4D detects dangerous weather days ahead of time, so you can make the right plans for your family.
We are talking all tropics as we head into this weekend. We were pretty calm for about a month there, and now the tropics are firing back up. We're taking a look at Tropical Depression Fred as it moves over portions of Cuba. We're going to have to wait until it moves over into the southern Gulf of Mexico. As a result, it'll tap into those warmer waters, and that's when we'll see some re-intensification as it strengthens back into a tropical storm as you head into Sunday. So that's what we're going to be watching. Right now, only has max sustained wind speeds of 35 miles per hour as it drops heavy rainfall over Cuba, and then the cone has it further to the west, away from northeast Florida and southeast Georgia, closer to the northern Gulf Coast, impacting the Florida Panhandle, Mobile, Alabama, and even into portions of Mississippi. Now, in terms of the heavy rainfall from Fred, some of those outer bands may reach portions of the west coast of Florida, and Tallahassee, Panama City being on the eastern side of the storm, they could see some very heavy rainfall. The heaviest of rainfall also a little closer to the center of the storm as well. Now, taking a look at Tropical Storm Grace. Grace formed overnight into early this morning as a tropical storm. Right now, max sustained wind speeds at 40 miles per hour. Current cone track has it moving over Jamaica, Dominican Republic as it moves through areas of just north of Haiti and then north of Cuba and into portions of South Florida, just skimming south of Miami. Most of the models are agreeing that it's going to take that exact path, and then a little bit of uncertainty as you head towards the end there. Where is it going to go past Cuba? North of Cuba, south of Cuba, right over Cuba? Those are the questions that we're going to be answering. What I want to show you is the GFS model. This is the American model. What it's showing is going to happen for Grace. Now, this does impact us here in Northeast Florida. So let's take you through Monday at 4 p.m. Notice Grace moving over the Dominican Republic at this time, creeping closer just north of Cuba and the Bahamas. This is around 7 p.m. Thursday evening, impacting portions of Miami. And then it kind of hugs the west coast as you head into next Sunday evening, or I should say early morning. So this is Sunday morning. You can see it moving in close to the Tampa area, going across North Florida, impacting Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia as you head into Sunday, and then leaving the area on Monday. So it could make for a very wet weekend for us next weekend with Grace, and we're going to be watching that closely. Again, that is just one model. There's multiples out there. They're a little indecisive, and we'll continue to watch them as they come out. Here's a look at some of our cameras around the area. You can see some water droplets there in South Ponte Vedra Beach. There are some showers out there, especially down in St. Johns and Flagler County. We'll track those in just a minute. 7 miles per hour for your winds in Jacksonville, 5 miles per hour in St. Augustine, 3 miles per hour in Brunswick, Georgia. 80 degrees right now in Jax, 82 in St. Augustine, 79 in Palatka, 82 in Brunswick. Throughout the day, temperature trend has us warming up into the upper 80s, low 90s, again with those increasing rain chances. So if you do want to mow the lawn, go ahead and do it early, although some of you are already seeing some rain out there. And if you do want to head to the beach, just know you may be dodging some showers, especially south of I-10. 89 degrees, UV index still very high. Rip current risk will be moderate surf. You're looking at anything from 2 to 3 feet. Now let's go ahead and take a look at live ExactTrack 4D radar. Notice the heavy rainfall moving through areas of St. Johns County, all the way from Monocacy, even in Duval County, Palm Valley, Sawgrass area, Ponte Vedra, even in the south side, you're going to see some light showers move on through at this point. Following A1A down, South Ponte Vedra Beach, St. Augustine, you've seen some heavy rainfall all morning long, and some heavy showers moving just offshore. So they're going to be pushing inland. So St. Augustine, you will have another round of heavy rainfall continuing to make its way through. We are going to be watching for some localized flooding potential. And we head a little bit further south along I-95 there, just to the east of the Hastings area, across 13. You're seeing some of that heavy rainfall. Palatka, you're on the drier side as of right now, but rain is on the horizon there. Palm Coast, just some light showers just offshore. But if we zoom out big picture, we are seeing these scattered showers and storms developing offshore, and they're going to push inland. So that's what we're going to continue to see as we head throughout this morning. That's the rain chances we're going to see as we head throughout the morning into the afternoon. They're going to follow us through the afternoon hours, fade overnight tonight, dry things out. Tomorrow morning, still dealing with a mix of sun and clouds. Then 3, 4 o'clock, you'll see the afternoon showers and thunderstorms develop along the sea breeze and then push inland throughout the day. And then Monday, we have another wet weather day on top of us. We're going to start off dry, and then showers and storms will develop as you head into the afternoon. And rain chances really stick with us through the next 7-day stretch. Today, forecasting that high in the upper 80s, low 90s. Those of you that are already seeing some rainfall in the cloud cover, your temperatures will stay just a little bit cooler in the upper 80s there. And this pattern follows us all week long. We're going to see daily isolated showers and storms, isolated cloud cover, which is going to keep those temperatures just a degree or two below our seasonal average in the upper 80s, low 90s. Remember, you can always get updates on the new Weather Authority app and on the radio, V101.5. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Hamilton, in your city, at the Times Union Center for the Performing Arts. Get tickets at fscjartistseries.org.
Belvita, the dip it, sip it breakfast biscuit. Dip it, sip it. Belvita biscuit. Dip it, sip it. Belvita biscuit. Double dip it, double sip it. Belvita biscuit. Make every morning delicious with Belvita.
Welcome to Toyota's National Sales Event.
Thanks, I'm here for a great deal.
Great deals are kind of our thing. You can save on the 2021s while they last, like Camry, Venza, Corolla.
Watching them come and go is really getting to my neck.
Occupational hazard this time of year. Gotta keep it loose.
Right now, during the Toyota National Sales Event, get 0% APR for 36 months on a new 2021 Toyota Corolla. That's just 0% APR on the Toyota Corolla.
It all ends September 7th.
Toyota, let's go places.
I've been meaning to give you these for many years. I think they're perfect.
Maya?
Oh, I love your earring. Why didn't you try these?
It isn't just about vision. It's about care. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
You can fill a jumbo jet 4 times over with the number of people killed by medical mistakes. Not every year, every week. Failing to run a test, giving the wrong drug, a lab mix-up. I know it can feel unnatural to file suit against your doctor or hospital, but when their mistake takes so much away from you, you have to hire a firm who is dedicated to getting to the truth of what happened. Farah and Farah. Talk to us.
Home selling with OfferPad is as easy as...
Welcome to OfferPad. How can we help?
Ooh, let's go with Express Sell.
With a cash offer in 24 hours.
And that comes with no showings.
Extra no showings, please.
Request your free offer today at OfferPad.com.
Hamilton, in your city, at the Times Union Center for the Performing Arts. Get tickets at fscjartistseries.org.
Saving the day since 1983. David Gray, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air.
If you're on the job hunt, you might have noticed a new requirement on some listings. More companies are mandating vaccines for employees. According to Indeed, job postings with the COVID-19 vaccine requirement went up 34% in the first week of August. Even with the recent spike, the majority of job listings with this requirement is still quite small.
Parents, check your bank accounts because the second round of the child tax credit dropped yesterday. The Treasury Department says this month's payment went to families of around 61 million kids, more than 1.5 million more kids than the last payment. The direct payments this round total more than $15 billion. According to a recent study, the payments are already reducing child poverty rates.
The murder hornets are back. For the first time this year, scientists in one state out west have found these scary insects.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this. Well, ahead, we're going to tell you where these nasty insects are turning up. Plus, daily reporting of coronavirus cases in the Sunshine State may be a possibility again.
Yes. Ahead, why Governor DeSantis says this will be beneficial to local communities.
Local, reliable, making Toyotas more affordable than ever. Ernie Palmer Toyota, online or on the lot. Ernie Palmer Toyota can help you find the exact Toyota you want with our lowest price. Ernie Palmer Toyota has hundreds of Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs on the ground with more arriving daily. Plus, we buy cars, all makes, all models. Get top dollar for your trade today. Quick, easy, convenient. All with the best car buying experience you've ever had. Ernie Palmer Toyota, ErniePalmerToyota.com.
First wash since I bought it. Still can't believe this thing is yours. No. Navy Federal Credit Union gave me such an affordable car loan, the rest was easy. I mean, I can't imagine where I'd be without them.
Get me in there!
I'm gonna check the windows. Yeah, good idea.
Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
If you have a dispute with your insurance company, we'll fight to make the insurance company uphold their side of the contract and pay your claim. Farah and Farah.
We weren't happy with our bathtub.
But we didn't want the headaches of demolition.
Or the days without our bathroom. Then a friend told us about Bath Fitter and their unique tub-over-tub process. There's no demolition, and they install in as little as a day. They also have a seamless wall for a watertight fit. And Bath Fitter has a lifetime guarantee. What a difference. Finally, a bathtub I love.
Kohler Homes was great because I felt like we were working with a local company, and I felt like they really were attentive to our needs. Most importantly, I felt like Kohler Homes wasn't incentivized to sell us one product over another. I would absolutely recommend Kohler Homes to anybody who asked me.
Right, this is happening. Everything in moderation.
My wife is pregnant. I'm just glad I could be here for her.
Oh, what's this now?
I've been getting a bit breathy in the shower. I think that maybe I'm in love. I love this game.
Me too.
Dead Pixels. New episodes Sunday at 9:30, 8:30 Central on the CW.
Breaking news knows no bounds. Marine 4 gets you closer to stories that matter most, from severe storms on local shores to emergencies along the St. Johns. Marine 4 is there. Channel 4, the local station. Live from the local station, the morning show starts now.
After a quiet month, the tropics are firing back up as two systems are now spinning. The Weather Authority has been monitoring Fred, and people in South Florida are making preparations just in case.
Broward County has set up several sandbagging locations, hoping to minimize flooding impacts. Residents were there all day yesterday, stocking up on bags and other essential items.
And we're going to toss things over to meteorologist Danielle Giuliano. You've been very busy this morning tracking both these systems.
Yeah, again, we were quiet for like the last month after Elsa. Now we have Fred and we also have Grace. So let's take a first look at Fred right now. Fred's going to make its way over Cuba here within the next few hours and then move into the southern Gulf of Mexico. When Fred moves into the southern Gulf of Mexico, it's going to tap into those warmer waters, and we'll see it re-intensify from a tropical depression back up into a tropical storm as it moves through the Gulf of Mexico and then makes landfall anywhere along the northern Gulf Coast, anywhere really from Panama City, Pensacola, Mobile, Alabama, even into portions of Mississippi. So we're going to be watching Fred closely, but the direct impacts here to northeast Florida and southeast Georgia will be slim to none. Right now, Fred has max sustained wind speeds of 35 miles per hour. We're also watching Tropical Storm Grace. Grace formed overnight while we were asleep into early this morning. Right now has max sustained wind speeds at 40 miles per hour, moving west at 22 miles per hour. Grace is forecast to move over areas of Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic as you head into Sunday, into Monday. Wednesday and Thursday slowly starting to creep up on those of you in South Florida and even into the Bahamas. We're going to be watching that very closely because some models have it moving off into the Gulf and some models having it making it turn into Florida. Florida. So we're going to be watching this one very closely in the coming days. This one more likely to impact us rather than any impacts going to be felt from Fred. Here locally, though, if we're taking a look at what we can see around the clock, there are some showers on the camera from South Ponte Vedra Beach. You can see some dark clouds there in Jax Beach and also some cloud cover in downtown in the sports complex and in Neptune Beach. If we take a look at live Exact Track 4G radar, we do have some showers in the area, especially along our coastal areas in St. Johns County here, seeing some of those showers continue to make their way through. So this is exactly what we're seeing here on live Exact Track 4D radar. You see some of those showers here in St. Augustine and St. Johns County, and then also just in coastal Duval County. We're going to continue to track these showers and storms here coming up in just a few minutes.
Danielle, thank you. If you haven't already downloaded the Weather Authority's Hurricane app, now would be a great time to do so. It's free for both Apple and Android devices. Be sure to enable push notifications. This way, you'll always stay up to date on any inclement weather heading your way.
Since July 1st, there has been a 700% increase in the weekly average of coronavirus infections in the U.S. The CDC released this information during a discussion about booster shots for those with weakened immune systems. The U.S. hit a low point with new cases in late June, averaging about 10,000 infections per day. Right now, health officials say the average is closer to 125,000 per day. The CDC says fully vaccinated people can still spread the Delta variant, but they're infectious for a shorter period of time than those who are unvaccinated. More places across the U.S. announced plans requiring people to show proof they've been vaccinated against COVID-19 to teach school, work at a hospital, see a concert, or even eat inside a restaurant. Starting next week, New York City, New Orleans, and San Francisco will start imposing these rules. City officials in Los Angeles say they're looking into the idea. Chicago School District announced it will require all teachers and other employees to be fully vaccinated by mid-October unless they qualify for medical or religious exemptions.
As Florida continues seeing a surge of cases caused by the Delta variant, Governor DeSantis spoke about possibly reverting back to daily reporting of COVID-19 data. On Thursday, the governor suggested it might not be a bad idea to start the daily reports again. He claims this will give counties a better look at how their community is faring in the pandemic, but it is still unclear when or if daily reports will make a return. The Broward County Teachers Union is mourning the death of 3 educators, including a teacher and a teacher's aide from Dillard Elementary and another teacher from Pinewood Elementary. All died from COVID-19. None of these individuals were vaccinated. Additionally, the union mentioned a community member involved in education also died from the virus around the same time. We are less than a week into a new school year, and a middle school in Albuquerque, New Mexico is already reeling from a deadly shooting. Law enforcement says the incident happened between 2 students. Both are believed to be around 13 years old.
And one of the students is dead and the other in custody. Police say the shooting happened during the school's lunch hour on Friday. Investigators are still trying to figure out what led up to the shooting, but once gunfire rang out, a resource officer confronted the 2 students and prevented further violence. Law enforcement is asking the community to come together during this tragedy.
It takes not only police, but the community as well to do something about this problem and address it head on. We have a great set of detectives from our homicide unit that are going to investigate all these crimes. We have full confidence in them. But right now, this is a community issue. It's not just a police issue. We all have to work together for this.
The middle school where the shooting happened will be closed Monday, and counselors will be available for students when they return to class.
Police are investigating after a 21-year-old mother was killed after her toddler accidentally shot her in the head. The incident happened in an Altamonte Springs apartment while Shamaya Lynn was on a video call for work. Investigators say one of Lynn's co-workers, who was also dialed into the meeting, called 911 after hearing a noise and seeing her fall backwards. Police say the child found the loaded handgun in the apartment and that it belonged to the father. Officials are urging all gun owners to keep best practices when storing firearms.
To anyone and everyone tuning into this story, if you own a firearm, please keep it locked and secured. Incidents like this could be avoided.
Right now, the child is being cared for by other relatives. It's unclear if the father will face any charges.
Murder hornets spotted last year attacking insects, maybe making a return to the U.S. after officials confirm a sighting. Ugh. Well, at least right now, Floridians have nothing to worry about so far. The hornet was found in Washington state. In June, officials found a dead hornet in Seattle. Last year, scientists knocked down a nest they found with multiple Asian giant hornets inside. Asian giant hornets are an invasive species and pose a risk to native insects in the area. Well, school may have started back this week, but it's still not too late to get some school supplies.
No, in just a few moments, an event happening today giving out supplies and other essential items for free. And imagine you wake your child up early in the morning, make sure they're ready for school, only to find out they boarded the wrong bus. This is exactly what happened to an 11-year-old boy here in Jacksonville.
An unbelievable story. Well, after the break, we'll tell you how exactly this mix-up happened and what the school is doing about it.
Covering what's happening in your neighborhood, News 4 Jax is the local station.
Just call PennDOS. Just call PennDOS.
Just call PennDOS.
Just call PennDOS.
Well, you heard them. Accident, just call PennDOS.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
It's Buick Envision.
That's a really tight spot.
I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
The all-new Buick Envision, built around you, all of you. Pay no interest for 72 months, plus current eligible Buick owners get $500 purchase allowance on 2021 Buick SUV models.
Introducing Vickers Landing at Oakbridge, the all-new Ponte Vedra Beach retirement community bridging gorgeous homes with a resort lifestyle, bridging safety and security with freedom, fun, and convenience. From housing to dining and healthcare to fitness, you'll be covered through every phase of aging. Learn more about luxury living at the all-new Vickers Landing at Oakbridge. Phase 1 selling out fast. Visit vickerslanding.com now. Vickers Landing at Oakbridge.
Doing your best work from home is not easy when you don't have the right space. California Closets will help you create a custom solution that works for you, your family, and your life. Whether it's a small space, shared space, multifunctional space, or kids space, our professional design consultants will help you get organized and make your space one that works better for you. Now you can love where you live and work. Schedule your free in-home or virtual design consultation today at californiaclosets.com.
Goodwill Industries is proud to have served North Florida for over 80 years. From scholarships to employment, your donations make a difference in our community for people like Kayla.
Before Goodwill and A-Step, I wanted more for me and my kids. I decided to go to school. They took care of daycare. It's so much more than just a financial support. If it were just me, it would have been so easy to give up. There are people out there that are rooting for you.
We are Goodwill, removing barriers to employment.
What is that?
When it comes to leaf blowers, size matters.
The Leaf King! The Leaf King! Yeah, 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 yeah!
Same goes for your law firm. Morgan & Morgan.
Going big?
America's largest injury law firm.
That was awesome.
This next story, a parent's worst nightmare. So imagine you put your child on the bus for school, but they never make it.
Yeah, well, this was reality for one local family. This happened to an 11-year-old boy on the first day of class this week here in Jacksonville. I spoke to the child's father to find out what happened. The first day of school, the Monroe family will never forget.
Watched him get on the bus drove off, and I went to sleep.
Their 11-year-old boy was off to Joseph Stilwell Military Academy of Leadership with a transfer at Riverside High School.
He didn't know what bus to get on. He was directed to get on to a bus. That bus broke down, and a replacement bus was sent. That replacement bus didn't know where to send him.
The bus ended up at Eugene Butler and dropped him off there.
He arrived 2 hours late, and as soon as he walked in, thought that he was just a new student arriving, and gave him a schedule and sent him on his way. The end of the day, when it was time for him to get onto a bus and go home, and he didn't know what bus to get on. So that's when they looked in their system and saw that he didn't belong there.
Meanwhile, Monroe had just woke up and received that notification of his son's unexcused absence.
They started looking room by room, initiated an entire school lockdown. They got Jacksonville Sheriff's Office involved. A transportation company actually called me, and they tried telling me that he never got on the bus. And no matter how many times I told them, no, he did get on the bus. I put him on the bus myself.
I cannot imagine the anger you must have felt during those moments of panic.
The feeling that I had thinking that my son was missing, it's not something that any parent should ever have to go through. The explanation that the principal at Stillwell had given me was that being a magnet school, there's a lot of parents that change their mind and the kids don't show up on the first day. On the first day and the first day alone, they don't send out the automated phone calls for absences. They just put it into the app and into the system. And then on the second day, that's when they start doing the automated phone calls. But she also did tell me that from this point on, she is going to put additional safeguards in place to make sure that this doesn't happen in the future.
I reached out to Duval County Public Schools. A spokesperson says both district and school leaders followed up with this family to apologize and provide support to help the student have a better start to the school year. Monroe says while the district did apologize, it did not provide any details about what, if anything, would be changed to prevent this from happening to anyone else's child. The father and son were reunited at around 4:55 that afternoon. The father had to go and pick him up at Butler. He says that night he bought his son a cell phone. There have been no issues since. And we want to remind you, Duval County Public Schools now has a webpage where it lists all the current bus delays. It's duvalschools.org/bus delays. I asked the father if his son made any friends the first day of school at that school, and he laughed. He said yes. His son was, of course, very, shook by the day. He was afraid he was going to have to stay the night at the school.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that he's safe and they got everything figured out, because that is scary. As a parent, that has to be rough.
Oh, yeah, I cannot imagine. And that's what I said to him. Growing up in New York, I went to the 5th largest school district in the state, so a lot of buses. And I remember when you didn't see your bus, that moment of panic, that fright you felt as a child. So I cannot imagine what that little boy felt. We are so thankful there was a happy ending to this story. And, of course, a lot of lessons learned, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right.
9:44, yes. Take it away. We're going to go to weather, right?
Yes, we're going to take a look at weather. We know we have some storms heading our way. Danielle Juliano joining us now with the latest. Good morning, Danielle.
Good morning. Yeah, we're taking a look at the tropics all weekend long for you guys. Here's a look at Tropical Depression Fred as it moves over Cuba into the southern Gulf of Mexico here as we head throughout our Saturday. Once it moves over the southern Gulf of Mexico, forecasted to re-intensify once again back into a tropical storm. Right now, max sustained wind speeds are only at 35 miles per hour. Give it the next 12 hours over that warm water of the Gulf of Mexico. It'll re-strengthen into a tropical storm before moving into portions of the northern Gulf Coast, anywhere really from Panama City, Pensacola, Mobile, Alabama, even into Biloxi, Mississippi. So northeast Florida, southeast Georgia, well outside that cone of uncertainty as it continues to track further off to the west. Now the impacts from Fred. In terms of heavy rainfall, some areas in west coast of Florida could see some outer bands, but the most of the heavy rainfall is going to be along the Florida Panhandle, areas like Tallahassee, Panama City, Pensacola. That's where you're going to see the heaviest of rainfall. It will pull moisture across though, and that's where we'll see some of our shower activity from. Now in terms of rip currents, anywhere from the east coast to the west coast of Florida, there are potential high rip currents there with Fred associated. So taking a look now at Tropical Storm Grace. Grace formed overnight while we were asleep. We woke up this morning. We have our newest tropical storm. Forecasted to move closer to the Leeward Islands as we head through today, move over portions of Puerto Rico. areas of Dominican Republic, and then north of Cuba as you head into Wednesday and Thursday of this week. Now, what it does once it passes by southern Florida there in the Miami tip, that's going to be the big question. Right now, Grace has max sustained wind speeds of 40 miles per hour. Some of the models you're watching are pretty much in alignment that it's going to make its way over Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and then once it makes its way to Cuba, they're a little bit uncertain. Which way do they go? Most models have it closer to the southern tip of Florida, but once it gets past Florida, that's the big question. So let's take a look at our GFS model. This is our American model here. We head into 5 p.m. Monday. You can see Grace making its way past the Dominican Republic and then moving just north of the Cuba area, impacting those in the Bahamas by 8 p.m. on Thursday here, reaching South Florida in the Miami area. Then what that has Grace doing is making that loop-de-loop around back into Tampa and then up towards northeast Florida and southeast Georgia as you head into next weekend. That's where we're going to be watching this very closely. This is just one model out of many. We're still a week out. There's time for change and uncertainty, so that's why we're going to be watching Grace very closely. Notice the raindrops on our camera looking at Jax Beach. We do have some showers in the area early this morning. 7 miles per hour for your winds, though, in Jacksonville, 11 miles per hour in St. Augustine, dealing with that onshore flow, pulling moisture across the area. 81 degrees in St. Augustine, 80 in Jacksonville, 82 in Brunswick, 79 degrees still in Waycross. Temperature trend for today, upper 80s, low 90s, just a degree or two below our seasonal average for this time of year. If you do plan on heading to the beach, you may be dodging some showers throughout the morning into the afternoon, just like we saw on our beach camera. UV index still high, rip current risks are moderate. Now taking a look at live exact track 4G radar. Again, we see these showers mainly in coastal Duval County, so along the beaches, you're seeing that light to moderate rainfall right now. Following down to Ponte Vedra, Sawgrass, Palm Valley, Nocatee area, following I-95 down South Ponte Vedra Beach. You can see some areas of heavy rainfall over by the Woodlawn area, over by State Road 16. You're seeing some pockets of heavy rainfall. St. Augustine also seeing them showers and some heavy rainfall really from St. Augustine Beach across A1A down to Butler Beach, Crescent Beach, and further south. DuPont Center seeing some heavy rainfall across State Road 206 west, and then moving off to the west as well. Hastings starting to see some light showers. Also the Palatka area. Actually, if we zoom things out, you move into Putnam, into Clay County. Clay County, we're looking at Doctors Inlet, Middleburg, Green Cove, Springs, and also over by Keystone Heights, starting to see that shower activity make its way through early this morning. So mainly south of the I-10 corridor and along the Duval County beaches. We are tracking these showers and storms that are offshore. They're going to be moving inland as we head throughout the day, and we'll continue to track those throughout the afternoon as well. As we take you hour by hour, it'll continue to push through as you head through the afternoon into the evening hours, that light to moderate rainfall with a few rumbles of thunder. Then we'll dry things out overnight while you're asleep, 5, 6 o'clock. Then tomorrow we're going to see some increased shower activity as well as you head into 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock time frame. It'll push inland as you head throughout the afternoon. Then we'll dry things out, and then more rain will return as we head into our Monday, and rain sticks with us over the next 7-day stretch. Today forecasting that high in the upper 80s, low 90s for most of us. The more rainfall you'll see, the cooler your temperatures will be. If you see more sunshine, mainly across southeast Georgia, your temperatures will be just a little bit warmer. 7-day forecast keeps us seasonal in the upper 80s, low 90s, actually just a degree or two below our seasonal average there due to the cloud cover and the rain that we're going to see this week, with overnight lows in the 70s. And remember, we're keeping a very close eye on the tropics as we head into next weekend. Remember, you can always get updates on the new Weather Authority app and on the radio, 97.9 KISS FM.
Thanks so much, Danielle. Well, just because the kids are back in school doesn't mean they have all the supplies they need.
No, not at all. Coming up, the Back to School Bash that's about to start, that will be handing out supplies like lunch boxes and supplies needed to have a successful year in the classroom.
And it's time to celebrate today's student of the day, Kyler. It's his first day of 7th grade.
Ah, how exciting. If you'd like your child featured, go to news4jax.com and click on Snapjax. Student of the Day is an option. You must be a News4Jax insider to enter. We hope you have a wonderful school year, Kyler. Keep up the great work.
Beach Boulevard Automotive has hundreds of vehicles priced below $10,000. We put hundreds of happy new drivers on the road every month.
Selling our house, buying this house. What do we think? Negative me. Too much hassle. Control freak me. We leave nothing to chance. We get a cash offer from Zillow. Give me the clicker. No. Give me.
Yeah. We've overcome many challenges this last year and found new ways to do business. Safe ways to put on events, seminars, or corporate meetings. Your virtual event doesn't have to be bland. At Omni, we will safely elevate your event to a professional and engaging presentation. Better lighting, better video and audio. Plus, we have a distribution channel with our website that no one else can provide. Whatever your virtual event needs are, call Omni today and we'll do the rest.
In this time of COVID, it's critical to know if you live in an evacuation zone. If ordered to evacuate, you need to go. Stay with families or friends or a nearby hotel. Hurricane shelters are another option. Know that emergency managers are working to minimize the impacts of COVID-19 on people in shelters. So be ready to evacuate if necessary. Take your family hurricane supply kit and your pets, and your hand sanitizer and mask. Know your zone, know your home. For more information, go to floridastorms.org.
Being injured in an accident is only the beginning of your problems. Don't throw away your one shot at compensation. Make it count. Fair and Farah.
Exact Track 4D, cutting-edge technology to keep you safe.
Beach Boulevard Automotive, the best in selection, the best in financing, the best in service. Stop in today for your new ride.
Channel 4 brings you the Battle in the Big Easy pregame show. Watch for a chance to win Jags season tickets. You must be a News 4 Jax insider to win. Then, stay with us as the Jacksonville Jaguars take on the New Orleans Saints right here on Channel 4. After the game, hear from coaches and players with live coverage from the Superdome. Watch the Battle in the Big Easy pregame show and find out how you could win season tickets. Live from Island Wing Company, August 23rd at 7 on Channel 4, the local station.
Happening today, Florida Health, Putnam County, Liberty Dental Plan of Florida, and First Baptist Church of Interlochen have teamed up for a back-to-school bash. It's happening today from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. for all elementary students and their families. The address is on your screen, so grab a pen and paper. The event is free and includes dental assessments, fluoride varnish, applications, lunch boxes, and backpacks with school supplies.
Football fans, the wait is almost over. We're taking a live look at TIAA Bank Field, where the Jacksonville Jags will host the Cleveland Browns in the team's first preseason game. The Jags have a new QB in town, Trevor Lawrence, as we all know, and a new head coach, Urban Meyer. And after going 1-15, don't remind us, right, last season? They're hoping to bounce back. Kickoff is tonight at 7.
After the break, we'll tell you the top 4 things you need to know before you walk out the door this morning.
And a live look now at Holiday Marina. Some dark skies. Danielle was just mentioning some possibilities of rain throughout the day. We'll be checking in with her one last time for a look at what we can expect this weekend. For now, 9:54 on your Saturday. You're watching The Morning Show on the local station.
Clayton Waycross Home Building Facility is now hiring. Starting pay over $20 an hour. Benefits including a matching 401k. Shifts end at 3:30 daily. No nights or weekends with training provided. Apply today at careers.claytonhomes.com.
It's a fact. More people die from medical malpractice than in car accidents. If you suspect a doctor or a hospital is to blame for an injury, call Farah & Farah. We specialize in these types of cases. Farah & Farah, here for you, here for good.
It's the Flooring America sales event at our brand new 9,000 square foot showroom. Hardwood, luxury vinyl, tile, carpet, laminate, and much more. All at Flooring America's affordable prices. Don't feel like leaving the house? Our mobile unit will bring the showroom to you with access to our extensive selection of the finest flooring available and free estimates. For deals and coupons, visit flooringamerica.me or stop by our brand new showroom off San Jose Boulevard. Flooring America, where friends send friends.
With Week for Life scratch-offs, you can win up to $5,000 a week every week for as long as you live. Yeah! Experience lifelong excitement with Week for Life scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery. It's your ticket.
Claim it! Down there care with Cottonelle. Down there, because you're all over your overall wellness. So hashtag treat yourself with the cleaning ripples of Cottonelle toilet paper and flushable wipes. The refreshingly clean routine that leaves you feeling inside and out care. Down there care with Cottonelle.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. I'll give you not 1, 2, but 3 reasons to buy. We have the vehicle you're looking for with a wow price you expect. We're fast, fair, and transparent, and every new car comes with a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Plus, every purchase supports our local schools, teachers, and students. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville to help support your local schools. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Working at Clayton is just, the atmosphere is just amazing. It's just, you have so much fun, you all get along with one another, you help each other out. Just like how people say it takes a village to raise a child, I mean, it takes a team to build a home, not just a house. And that's what we do here. We build homes for people so they can have better lives.
Become a local VIP with News 4 Jax Insider. Behind-the-scenes access, live Q&As with anchors, exclusive weather tools, first dibs on local discounts and events. Sign up and sign in to News 4 Jax Insider, Channel 4, the local station.
9:56. Before we go, here are 4 things you need to know before heading out this morning. First, a celebration of life will be held for Bobby Bowden at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center on FSU's campus. The service starts at 11 o'clock this morning. Coach Bowden died last weekend after a bout with pancreatic cancer.
If you want to get your coronavirus shot this weekend, there are 2 events happening today. The first is on Moncrief Road and the other on LaBelle Street. Both are opening in just a few minutes at 10 a.m. There are also 3 farm share events going on today. 2 of them started at 9 a.m., but another is happening at 11 a.m. on Cleveland Road in Jacksonville.
And finally, the Jacksonville Jags are hosting the Cleveland Browns in their first preseason game. It's at TIAA Bank Field this evening. Kickoff is at 7. Big question on many folks' mind, what the weather is going to be like for tonight's game.
Yeah, and we're going to be tracking some showers and storms as we head throughout the day. Now by 7 p.m. tonight, there's a good chance that those showers and storms will start to fade. We're getting a good round making its way through this morning. We see all the way here across I-95, the beaches from Duval County down to St. Augustine into St. Johns County, and then some of those showers moving into Clay County and Putnam. So again, we're watching the shower activity closely this morning. If you take a look at total lightning strikes, it's sitting at 25. So there are a few rumbles of thunder associated with this and some heavy downpours. We are going to continue to track this on news4jax.com. Go ahead and download the Weather Authority app and on all social media platforms.
Danielle, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing Saturday and stay dry if you can while all that rain out there. Oh, you can take a look at it right there.
See why every day more people are choosing News